Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Blender 5.0 has just introduced a super useful new constraint, the geometry attribute constraint. So we are going to add a new empty object. Let's delete this one first. On this empty object, we will add the geometry attribute constraint and then select our object that has the geometry node modifier on it. What this does is it allows this empty to track to a specific index on the object created by the geometry nodes. As you can see, by default, the empty is tracking to the 0 index of the geometry, which in this case is a specific vertex. This new feature has a few great benefits. First, let's talk about the camera. If we add a new camera, we can enable depth of field set the focus object right to this new empty. For example, if we add some blur and if our target object is moving, the camera's focal point will automatically and precisely follow that specific vertex. You can see the point stays perfectly sharp, while everything else is blurred out. This gives you a great way to maintain focus dynamically. This means for something like this worm animation, the camera's focus tracks it, and you don't have to manually keyframe the focus distance anymore. Now the plane might be a bit close here, so the depth of false blur isn't super intense yet. But if we lower the f-stop, you can clearly see the vertex is sharp. If the f-stop is too low, the blur effect might be too wide. But you get the general idea of how this works. Another great use is to actually have the camera track the movement of that geometry. We can add this constraint to the camera as well. It's similar to using constraint like copy location. But here's the kicker. Previously, getting the position date of a single vertex out of geometry nodes was basically impossible. I actually saw Cartesian Caramel's video today where he mentioned this new constraint in Blender 5.0. This constraint allows you to gain which affect translation and perfect. You can check out his video too. He probably covered similar points. Anyway, what I found was that you simply couldn't export the position attribute of a single specific vertex from inside a geometry node tree. I think this constraint node essentially acts as a bridge to export a single value, and that single value can then be linked directly to an empty object, just like we did. Otherwise, even if we create a single cube and add a GeoNodes setup, we just can't read an attribute for a single specific index of the geometry. It just wasn't possible before. So this is a real convenient addition. You can either use it to control your camera's focus, or you can have the camera itself track the point's movement. You can also turn on the offset option, which allows the constraint to accept local position changes. If you don't use offset, the camera will be strictly stuck to the point. Alright, that's it for today's quick share. If you found this helpful, please hit the like button and consider subscribing my channel for more Blender tips and tutorials.